This is books you must read in your 20s. First part will be mental/self-help books, and then will be finance books. I want you to read these books in this particular order for a reason. I've structured this for someone who hasn't read in a long time or your mental isn't in the best place. The reason why I want you to start off in this with mental health books is because if your mental and your brain isn't right and you're not happy with your current situation, then your brain and mental won't be right to make money and learn. Book 1, Consistency Formula by Susie Sung. Why you should read it. If you're not a reader, this is a perfect book to start off with because it will only take about an hour to read. It's short and sweet and will steer you in the right direction to take action. My key takeaways from this book was consistency and good habits are key to success. The importance of consistency is so important, guys. I can't stress this enough. For example, my channel's doing really well right now. If I was just to stop and upload in 2 months, it would not get on the algorithm and will not do good because I'm not consistent. This book has some of my favorite quotes. I just want to read a few of them out. So this is the first one. If you want different, you have to be different. You are what you think. If something hasn't worked out the way you planned, don't change the goal, change the method. Don't take advice from someone who isn't living the life you want. Whether you think you can or you can't, you are right. Nothing will change unless you change. So those are my favorite quotes from the book. Now let's go on to book 2. Book 2, Steal Like an Artist. Why you should read it. Another quick read to help with your reading. It's just quick. You'll get it out the way. That's 2 books done. And you could get it done in 2 days. 2 books in 2 days. How good does that sound? The book is about starting to get back on track and taking things from multiple outlets in life and putting them into something you like. It helps with being creative. It also helps with getting started on your goals. My key takeaways from this book are carrying a notebook everywhere to jot down your thoughts and observations. I've started to do that. It's helped me a lot. If you're into making content, it talks about taking multiple ideas from people. For example, if you want to be a streamer, you might steal something from Kai Cenat, you might steal something from Ludwig, and then you might steal something from Aiden Ross, and then you might steal something from Trainer X TV, and you put it all into one, and that's what you become with your own a little originality twist on it. Key example of the book Steal Like an Artist, I stole the YouTube channel idea from a YouTuber named Wylearn. He has this channel where he uploads Call of Duty gameplay and he talks over the top of it, sort of like what I'm doing right now, but I took inspiration from him and I put my own twist on it to help me execute my plan. He talks more about computer science and investing and his journey in life. I'm doing more self-help and encouraging and self-improving. I just said that, but yeah, you get the point. So yeah, the book is pretty much about studying from the people you admire and collecting ideas to inspire your own. Austin Kleon wrote this book. He has another book named Show Your Work. If you're a content creator, artist, photographer, I highly recommend you read that. That will kind of help with getting your feet off the ground and making content. Book 3 is The Sellout Not Giving. I read this when I was quite young and this book changed my life. This book will teach you not to care about what people think of you. The key takeaways from the book are life is limited and you should reflect on what truly matters and let go of the rest because the rest don't matter. Reevaluating your values and aligning your actions with them. Embracing discomfort and failures as part of growth of the progress. Say no to distractions and things that don't align with your priorities. A good example is I used to go out with my friends. They used to always encourage me to come out, like go to clubs and stuff. And I hated it. And it was just a distraction. I'm like, dude, I'm wasting so much time going to clubs. Now I don't do it and I've become super productive and I put that time into something else. This is a must read, guys. Book 4 is Relentless. This is by far my favorite book. He was the trainer of Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Dwayne Wade. I love basketball, so it was a great read. But it's not about basketball. It's about being relentless and obsessed with being great. Why you should read it? It's teaches you about surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to grow and hold you accountable. Good example is if you hang out with a bunch of millionaires, you will eventually become a millionaire. It also teaches you about removing distraction and winning is everything. I love that saying, winning is everything. Winning is everything to me. I play Monday Night Basketball with my friends and I treat it like it's Game 7 of the NBA Finals. I don't care what people think of me. I love winning and I want to win in life and I want to win in basketball and I want to win even if I'm playing Mario Party with you. I want to beat you. That's how much I want to win. My key takeaways from the book are setting your own standards and hold yourself accountable to them. Harness your inner dark side to fuel your ambition. Working relentlessly but smartly, and never rest on the past success. Surrounding yourself with people and your environments that challenge you to inspire you. Book 5 is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. I mean, I think most of you know who David Goggins is. A lot of successful people recommend this book, and it did not disappoint. It was one of the first books I read. This book is more of the same as Relentless, but it's David Goggins' story, and it's truly amazing. It's mostly about being disciplined, taking accountability, becoming resilient, self-improving, and your mind being your most valuable tool, which is super important, guys. The next book is 48 Laws of Power. I'm sure you've all heard of this book before. I know you may think it's about manipulating people, but the way I read it is to avoid being manipulated and to know when you are being manipulated. That's why I read the book, so I can tell when someone's manipulating me. And when I did read the book, I was like, gee, mostly in workplaces, I was manipulated by bosses and work managers, and you get the point. So I think it's super important to read that book from my perspective. Yes, there are some toxic traits in the book, but as I said, if you read it from my perspective, you will help. It will help you avoid manipulative and toxic people in your life. Next book is Mastery. It's the same author as The 48 Laws of Power. The book is about discovering your passions, avoiding being complacent, and identifying your tasks and committing to it fully. As I said, they're both the same authors. They're pretty big books, so if you're not don't like reading big books, there's concise versions which will help you skim through the book really fast. And then the last book for mental is Atomic Habits. This is a really good book at the start. It gets boring towards the middle, but the ending is also really good, so the payoff is good. The book teaches you about how having small and consistent habits lead to significant long-term change. Focus on small improvements daily, and will have a huge upside in the long run and can create lasting and meaningful change. Okay, guys, on to finance. So once you get your mental straight, time to read the finance books. Time to, strap yourself in and take it seriously. Book 1, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. This book teaches you that financial success comes from financial education, smart investments, and cultivating an entrepreneurial mindset. It pretty much teaches you one guy versus another guy. The perspective of the guy's book is he had his dad who was poor, and then he had a stepdad who was rich. Poor dad believes in working hard for a stable job and a paycheck. Rich dad pretty much believes in working through investments and passive income streams. So making your money work for you, and he's not wrong. You want to make your money work for you so you get more money instead of you just working for the same paycheck every 2 weeks. I get paid every 2 weeks. It's just the same. And I can't do anything about it. Well, you can't do anything about it. So I use that money to make more investments and make smart investments and learning about assets versus liabilities and stuff. This book will teach you about assets versus liabilities, financial education, mindset shift, and entrepreneurship and investing. So really good starting point for finance. Book 2 is Think and Grow Rich. This book is about finance, but it's also about mental. It's pretty much believing that you will become rich, believing in yourself. Yeah, so that's just more so about belief than the basics of investing. And the book is more about belief and seeing that you'll be rich instead of, breakdowns like Rich Dad Poor Dad. But the next book I'm going to recommend is more about breaking down finance. It's called Money Master the Game by Tony Robbins. It'll give you 7 steps to financial freedom. It'll also teach you the concepts of compound interest, the bucket strategy, the psychology of money, and many other concepts. There's heaps of that to this book. The book is pretty much about mastering money. And the final book for finance I recommend for starters, book 4, The Psychology of Money. The key takeaways from this book for me was wealth is what you don't see. You scroll on Instagram, you scroll on TikTok, social media tries to convince you that wealth is fancy cars and designer clothes, but wealth is actually what you don't see, guys. The wealth is your savings, your investments, your assets. That's not saying rich people don't buy nice things. I mean, they clearly do, but someone with $100,000 car might be wealthy, but it also tells you that they're $100,000 less well off, or they're $100,000 more in debt. I'll give you guys an example to finish off. I had a big friendship group, and all of them were buying $100,000 cars. You know, they're all taking out these huge loans to buy $100,000 cars. I kept the car that I got for $4,000 when I was 19 years old. I still have it to this day, 9 years later, almost 10 years later. I was the first one to buy a property. And then when I told everyone I bought my property, they were like, dude, how'd you buy a house? How'd you buy this property? What the hell? It's like, well, first of all, I didn't buy $100,000 car. $100,000 car is liability. It's not going to make you any money compared to a property where you can get capital gains, or you can rent it out and invest. But that's a story for another time. These are the books I constructed this whole list in order for a reason. I really hope you at least read one or two of them, or read all of them. That would be great. And if you guys have any book recommendations below, drop a comment. I appreciate you guys listening. And hopefully I wasn't too robotic, because it took me like 2 hours to script this video and write down dot points of each book and remembering certain aspects from the book. So I really do hope you guys like it and appreciate the effort I went into. As I said, I hope I wasn't too robotic. If you're new, subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Just like the last video, I'll reply to all comments and we can talk. Thanks guys. Have a good one.